Good evening. Welcome to a new edition of To The Point. This evening we'll be discussing investment opportunities here in Egypt and challenges. With us is a very distinguished gentleman. With us is Dr. Hussein Shoraibah, who is a planning and development consultant. A pleasure to have you with us among so many other hats. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Let me lead off first with what happened today, which is after 10 years of not issuing reports on human development in Egypt, the UNDP issued a report and the note was positive. How do you see that?
This is a hard work has been done and been accumulated since President Sisi took over. It is not the first time to have something like this. As you know, from 10 years ago, we didn't have it before. We didn't see it even so. Why? Because the government and the political party in Egypt, they were enthusiastic to take care of human health, education, better life. All these sectors is being conquered and improved to give humanity in Egypt a better life. And this is why I say congratulations to all Egyptians of this certificate, which is recently today came. I want you to know that the population of Egypt every day is on increase. And that increase needs really very unique ways to not to damage the future, because if you don't care about what is coming up, you will damage the future. So the government was taking step by step, whether in healthcare for childhood mothers as well as elder people. So the three sectors were moving side by side, and it was improving. Hepatitis C, for example, Egypt is now it's free. How it comes like this? Because there is an effort and plans have been done for this. What about elder people? Elder people today, they have an opportunity to take medication, the right medication, exams, all these things are ready for them.
Yes.
And that's an improvement. And not only this, you will find that medication is already in the countryside, not in the main capital. It goes to them through mobile cars, goes for them and take care of this. If you look to education, our education in the last 10 years was really down.
Yes.
And today I can see the kids are using the tablets, are using new way of education, degrees, universities opened recently in different parts of Egypt. It's not in the main capital.
It's not a centralized system
no,
anymore.
that's beautiful. This is one of the really unique things have been done for education. It is not the improvement that we would like to see it as Egypt before, but it is much better than all Arab countries. But it's
a start.
Is a great start.
Okay.
This is a great start. And if you talk about economy, I will give you one simple answer. The dollar in 2011 was almost like 22 pounds.
Yes.
Today is 15, and it might go down another, let's say, 10%. This is, how can this come down? This is a very simple thing. You have productions, you have a stable economy, you have tourism coming back, you have the important thing, industrial things, gas and oil excavations. You have new areas for logistic zones. You have a way of improving transportations.
Yes.
These things is emerging or enlarging the way of investment in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I congratulate all Egyptians from top to rank and file.
Mm-hmm.
Really, we have done a great job, but this is a starter job. It's not the end. That's the beginning. We need to improve more and more. Egypt is considered the 5th country worldwide in investments.
Yes.
It is one of the top 5. Can you imagine this? This is in only 4 years done. It is not the period of President Sisi took over. It's only 4. When he took over, it was a disaster.
Yes.
Economy was a disaster.
The Egyptian Prime Minister said today that economic reform program, part of the main components of it was to fix grave structural issues, structural and developmental issues in Egypt. What do you see was fixed in the past few years structurally, in your opinion?
In my opinion, because I'm always in and out, and whenever I come back to Egypt and I watch what's going on over here, the important thing, transportation, streets, all these things, when I go from, for example, from my place, which is Maadi, to downtown, it takes about 2-3 hours before. Today, it takes about 30 minutes.
Okay.
So it is improving. I'm always like to calculate anything by time.
Yes.
So when you find your time is demolished on the street, that's much better. This is a plus to the economy. It's not. Investors wants to come and invest anywhere, but he needs a way of communication, transportation, media, all these things with him.
Have we created the foundation, before we go into details about
Yes.
investment and numbers, but have we created the foundation, the base on which an investor can come, the environment, let me put it that way, the environment that is conducive and attractive for foreign investment in Egypt, in your opinion?
It is there. We have done it, and we have done it recently from almost 3 years. And you could find one of the German companies, which is so famous, have improved electricity in Egypt. Before, you were having in Egypt, the power of electricity was
Russian.
was out and in and out every day, 4 or 5 times, maybe 10.
Yes.
And it is terrible. It's not stable. So today, the foreign companies have invested billions, not millions. When they invest, anyone who's going to invest with you, he needs a return. No foreigner will invest for nothing or for the sake of anything. So he comes and invests because he is getting a better return, because he can invest in Europe. But once the investment return in a country like Egypt, which is the 5th country worldwide in a way of investment and improving economy, I will go over there. I will do business there. But we need more efforts. This effort is, part of it is from the government, and the second part is the people, not only the government only. So I see the government should facilitate the way of legal components with investors. It's not facilitate to make it very tough for him, but he can use this through the new technology of communicating, even if he's out of Egypt. And how can he apply? How can he get this? How can he do this? It is the way of communication. And the other thing, what about when I bring billion with me? How can I get this billion out of my country?
This is important.
The law should be easy. When you brought it in, go and take it, and take it with your interest. But you have to declare how much interest you got it.
Yes. I'll interrupt you for a second. We have with us on the line His Excellency Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Your Excellency, can you hear us?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Earlier in the day, the United Nations Development Programme representative to Egypt said that we have managed to keep the people at the heart of development. How do you see this comment, especially after the absence of a human development report about Egypt in 10 years? How do you see that?
Yes, I see a very positive element in our life. And I am one of the followers to read all these reports. Since 2009, I think that was the last time I have witnessed a report like that.
Yes.
And of course, we are glad that whenever they have some remarks and comments positively about Egypt, and I must say that I personally have my differences with them with other remarks, and I wrote some articles about that. Development for whom and who is making the development? Because one of their reports by that time, 2009, was advising us to spend on the wealthy classes, because if you give more money for a rich man, he will get good portion of his money as savings than investment. If you give the poor classes more money, they will spend on consumption.
Yes.
That was the report. And I discussed this with the late Boutros Ghali, and says, yes, this is the way they are looking to the problems like that. But of course, maybe economically you can agree, but where is the social dimension of the economic reform? But anyway, let us talk about this recent report. And I think it's mainly positive about Egypt. All the development signs are positive. Egypt is one of rare countries nowadays is making a positive rate of growth. Many countries, their economy is diminishing. Also, we have good experience concerning how we dealt with the epidemic of COVID-19. Thank God, because we started a courageous step with our economic reform since November 2016. That made us stand very strong when the epidemic came and attacked the whole world.
Yes.
So, but if you follow what the president said, we are proud that we are tackling every sector in our economy, and the growth is going positively. Not only this, but the new efforts are trying to make a fair distribution of the growth.
Yes.
That we want the layman, we want the poor classes to feel that what we are doing is touching them, is making their life better. Not only with bigger revenues and money, but in services, education, healthcare, transport, all these things also make their life very good. Add to this, the housing efforts is tremendous, really. I am so proud, and I am always asking my friends like yourself to look from the window from Maspero to see the miracle which is taking place in the district of Maspero now.
Yes.
It was so difficult to come by car through this slums, and now we are proud that we have some sort of very sophisticated buildings.
Yes.
If you think that this is also not in Cairo, but in Alexandria, in Damietta, in Luxor, in Aswan.
All over Egypt.
So, all over the country. So I hope that really I feel that we owe all our classes to make them feel the benefit of our development. And this is the main line of this report, and I agree with it totally.
Your Excellency, thank you very much for your input.
Thank you.
Dr. Shoraibah, the Prime Minister said today that we are hoping that economic growth in Egypt within the next 3 years would amount to 7%.
As I said before, Egypt is considered the 5th worldwide in way of investments. This is a hard work have been done to push the economy toward the success. When it reached 7%, this is not the main target, by the way. This is the beginning of a good target.
Yes.
The Prime Minister, when he managed to set new areas for human development, it's not for new buildings, it is for human development.
Yes.
When you go to, starting from Alexandria, going to Port Said, Ismailia, you go to Aswan, Luxor, all these areas and cities, they have another way of thinking, another way of development, looking after the people. When you care about your people, the people will care about you. This is why you will find that the farmer will be keen about to cultivate his land in a better way, in a good way, saving money and saving water, which is one of the essential things for the economy today. And we do have a great war today in water. This war, it's not we didn't ask for it, but somebody asked for this.
Yes.
We would like to have a very close friendship between us and all African countries, but unfortunately some power out of our way is pushing this, and we are not keen to go in a hatred between us and the others.
Yes.
I want you to watch what happened in Sudan, the damage of the water. Because they are not prepared while you are prepared. That's another thing.
Yes.
You will find that one of the good things which has been done during the time of Mubarak, it's Toshka. When you find President Sisi, when he made the other section of the 1.5 million acres to be cultivated so this water would move to this,
Yes.
lots of things was improving. And that improvement is improving the life of human. When you improve the life of human, you are gaining success and you are gaining money. He is going to work and he is happy to work.
Yes.
In Europe today, they are trying and they will implement 4 days a week a job, not 5 days. I want you to imagine how they're thinking like this. And Japan today is implementing this 4 days in Japan a week. This is a working time. And it is from 8 to 5 o'clock and no more than this. It is 32 hours. Can you imagine 32 hours a week your work? Why? Because they found production and return of income is going to be high. So when you have a high production, you have this, you have a high income. When you have a high income, your country is gaining, and it's much better today than before. I wish that we continue like this. I wish to have a system going on and non-stop. I don't want to have, because of, I have this prime minister, it is going to continue like this. And when he goes off, somebody comes, he have to continue with
Yes.
so there is a systematic way of movement. This is the important thing.
At the forefront is 2030, sustainable development. That's in 9 years. Actually, less than 9 years, which means it's yesterday.
Yeah.
Where are you expecting Egypt to be?
Well,
and more importantly, where is the opportunity for the investor if he wants to be part of that Egypt?
Okay, let me tell you something. Inflation worldwide is moving up. And let me clear one more thing, that the price of the oil in 2022 is going to go up high, up to almost $110 to $115 a barrel.
Which will further contribute to inflation.
That's right.
Okay.
Where is our role? Our role is there. Why? Egypt is in the heart of the world, left and right. Do we have logistic zones and new areas to shelter industrial things? Is our manpower ready to go in this new high tech or not? All this, if we take it on a very careful way, we will be almost maybe the third worldwide country best for investment.
Okay.
So when you talk about this, you have two ways of navigations. First of all, you have the Mediterranean and you have the Red Sea. In between, you have the Suez Canal, which is most of the product going to Europe is through the Suez Canal. Most of them. Turkey tried to make and dig a canal. Israel tried to dig a canal. We are happy if they can dig, and they will see the cost of it, and they will be the losers. This is why Israel didn't move up in doing that canal. And I'll give you one reason, because I had a discussion in this.
Yes.
When you have a small ship with almost 2,000 containers, and they're going to put a railway to move the 2,000 containers from the boat to the train, then to cross from the other side. How many trains you are in need to? How many load and unload, the timing? So it is useless.
Yes.
The same thing for Turkey. This is why the Silk Road is one of the good things for Egypt, and China is, and other countries with us will improve this for us. I hope the inflation will not affect business, especially we have COVID-19 worldwide.
Yes.
And it is covering in some areas, especially in Asia and the United States, plus Canada, a huge number. Europe, it is minimized now. We have to take care, and I do thank our Minister of Health of what she have done. She have done a good job, and Egypt numbers went down because a very secure plan have been issued.
Yes.
And that's a very good thing. When you talk about the vaccine, which you are going to manufacture here in Egypt, this is another plus economy to you. Who's going to take this vaccine? All Africa can take it from you.
Yes.
So this is another income coming to you. Another influence, not only money, influence with Africa. We would like to have the African people with us because we are Africans, by the way. Our sector, which we are in, we are an African, we are an Arab, we are Middle East.
Yes.
So we have lots of things. I wish that we continue very promising, in a very promising way, to do what we are doing today, and to be continuously sustainable way. Because if you don't have any sustainable way, you're a loser.
Power. There is a shift in the balance of power worldwide, especially after COVID-19. It sort of shed light that maybe some of the most powerful countries are not as powerful or as stable as we would have thought. Economies are ailing, some more than others. Some manage to survive this COVID hurricane than others. Our place, can Egypt be a power, an economic power?
Egypt will be an economic power. Today, it is almost reaching this stage. Why?
Why?
One simple reason. You have a strong army. Very simple as this. When you have a strong army, nobody could touch anything belongs to you. And that's an important issue. Look what's happening in Syria. What's happening? Look what's happening in Iraq. I'm very sorry about Iraq. Because your army is one of the tools for a better economy. Nobody should not, everyone should think positive about this. Because without your army, there is no investment. Because
there's no stability.
No stability at all.
Can Egypt be a strong contributor to regional security and stability?
Yes.
Because you were raising that issue before we started the show.
Yeah. Egypt can be with one great country also. It's Saudi Arabia. Egypt and Saudi Arabia, both of them, they are the strongest in economy, the strongest in manpower, the strongest in every tools, new technique tools they have. If they are matching together and moving together side by side, both of us, we have the Red Sea. Both of us, we have investments of Saudi Arabia in Egypt. It is more than 12 billion US dollars. Who is the population of Egyptians working in Saudi is exceeding more than 4 million. I want you to think, how can we both, two countries like this, secure the zone of the Middle East and the GCC? The Red Sea is secured and the Mediterranean is secure. We do have a very important thing coming up in Saudi Arabia, which is linked to us, the Red Sea from the other side.
Yes.
There is a unique project coming up, which is NEOM in Saudi. They are in need to our manpower, the intelligent even manpower of us. They need our expertise. Why? Because we are in the tourism business since long time ago, and we can help both of us and also secure us. We have the Egyptian army and we have the Saudi army. When you have the oil like Saudi, it is number one worldwide producing oil. How can we ignore this? What about gas? Egypt is going to supply. Who? Europe. Through what? Through Greece and Cyprus. That's the New Deal. What about the oil is moving from the GCC going to Mediterranean, our land, our border, and going and shipped to Europe. So both countries, they can focus and they can do, and they can tell some countries, you better shut up. Don't talk like this. Both countries. I don't want to name countries, but I would like, they know themselves. So this is why you'll find US, Europe, They want to keep us healthy, strong in that area, not like Afghanistan. So I wish that we secure our mind. I should not be interested of seeing any country like Afghanistan today. Why? Because it's totally damaged.
The challenges for us to move successfully, in your opinion?
One of the important challenges, we are right now in a chaos. What is this chaos? This chaos is worldwide. It's COVID-19.
It's staying for some time.
You don't know. Nobody knows.
Well,
it could be a year, could be 5 years.
It's staying. We just have to adapt and
we have to adapt.
Yes.
How can we adapt? We have to adapt ourselves in a secure way. That's number one. Number two, we should think that we, all Egyptians, we are qualified. We are not anyone. We are Egyptians, and we can do what is impossible. That's number two. The moral of our people. And this, with this success which we had it today, this improves. How can we do more? So that's the beginning. This is number two. Number three, investment. I want to have real businessmen. I don't want brokers. I would like to have businessmen, Egyptian businessmen, to work for Egypt. Not for gaining money, but for Egypt.
Meaning? Any businessman hearing you now would say, well, my job is to make money. What does it mean? I mean,
for example, my dear, if I want to manufacture a car, I should make at least, as a starting, 70% of the component made in Egypt. Not important, I assemble them. That's an important thing. Number two, I should create small business accumulated to the big one. So the car, they manufacture the engine, so they need a plug, they need a lamp, they need a plastic thing in the car. You can give them to the new generations and support them with the funds doing this. So this would be accumulated to like this. I don't like to see the people using something which is a motorcycle as a taxi or anything like this. This is not business, and this is not working for the new generations. This is not the future. This is really a corruption. I need the people to live secure, and this is, so I need to have small, medium, and big business. These should be accumulated for one market, one target, and that's, for example, the car. I would like to have this. So the businessman who's not doing all manufacturing things in Egypt in this way is not doing anything.
Khalid Zakaria, who is the author of the 2021 Human Development Report, said that he made some recommendations, and some of those recommendations are pertaining to reforms in laws. He said we should do some social insurance law reform, health insurance law reform, and waste management law reform.
And digitizing also.
And digitizing, which is the battle.
Yeah. Well, Khalid Zakaria, Dr. Khalid Zakaria is a very responsible person, and he is saying the correct things. And I wish this should be materialized in a way for small companies and big companies and medium-sized companies. We need to do this because the small companies has majority of workers. A factory maximum you will find 1,000. but the small business is about 2 or 3 or 4, and it is 50,000. Can you imagine the
Yes.
big figures for it?
Yes.
So we want to implement this with the small business and the medium business. Very careful for this, and we should keen about them, and we should facilitate for them the way of digitizing, the way of funding, lots of things, and even giving them the best high tech of improving their product. By this way, we are improving our economy. And Dr. Zakaria, he's an excellent person. I do not know him, but his CV is saying so.
What message would you be directing to an investor right now?
The very simple thing, you go anywhere, you will find people are helping you to invest. Here in Egypt, we are helping you, and we will support you and facilitate what is impossible for you to do anywhere in Egypt. Egypt is a very secure country with 100 million person living in, and they need all your product. You are not in need to export them. If you want to export, that's no problem, but the market is there for you. Plus, Egypt has a very unique connections with Africa, and that's an important thing, which is a virgin market for any product is produced there. The new logistic zones, the new way of telecom in Egypt is extremely updated. And the people and the wages for skillful people is very reasonable. I don't want to say low because it is very reasonable, but we need to tell them they are very skillful. And you want to know how is this? I want you to know there is a person named Dr. Zuwail,
Yes.
who passed away, but he was in NASA. I want you to know Dr. Magdi Yaqub, and he is the surgeon. So Egyptians are intelligent, and not only intelligent, they are pioneers.
Definitely, definitely. Dr. Hussein, a pleasure to have you with us this
Thank you,
evening.
ma'am.
And the positive outlook definitely is coming at the right time. Thank you very much for
Thank
joining
you,
in.
ma'am.
Have a pleasant evening. I'd like to thank you, the viewers. We'll see you same time next week. Until then, good night.